How a Nigerian king who Harry hailed as one of his new in-laws is a con man twice deported from America with a lengthy criminal record and a distinctly murky past. I no understand. Wetin wan bring on this one now? Ha! This Harry visit to Nigeria. I no understand. This their visit to Nigeria wey be say their people no like. Say they wan come, they wan share and make it be say their people come mingle with people they're not supposed to mingle with. I've been waiting. Videos in detail, please. Taking the microphone, Prince Harry gestured towards the Nigerian royals ranged before him, playfully calling them his in-laws. It brought laughter from his audience. I'll skip the protocol because at this point we're all family, the Duke added, to more guffaws. On reflection, though, maybe it wasn't such a big joke after all. The House of Windsor may have caught the successes adrift, but in Lagos last Sunday, worldly rulers bearing gifts and titles were effectively competing to claim Meghan for their own royal families. But as the Duke and Duchess would do well to note, not everyone who came paying homage was all the seemed. Prince Harry shaking hands with conman Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akanbi in Lagos, Nigeria. The Mail on Sunday reveals today that one of the kings is a convicted fraudster who was twice kicked out of the United States. The venue for what one gets described as Meghan's unofficial crowning was a flashy fifth floor restaurant in the coastal mega city latest boutique hotel. Hardly the throne room at Buckingham Palace, where there was a red carpet, fanfare trumpet, and no shortage of ceremony. Monarchs journeyed from all corners of Africa's most populous nation to honor the 42-year-old former suit actress. In Nigeria, different regions continue to have monarchies, now with ceremonial rules rather than constitutional powers, representing the groups that existed before colonization. From the oil-rich Niger Delta region, representing the Isekiri people, came a dashing figure in red robes, Ogaime Atuwase III, also known as the Oluwo of Warri Kingdom, married to a billionaire's daughter. He drives a Bentley and most respected as one of the country's richest kings. Like 40-year-old Ogiame, another king, the Obi of Onitsha, Nemeka Achebe, had traveled far to meet the Duke and Duchess. Known for his wisdom, benevolence, and humility, the 83-year-old conferred on Meghan the chieftaincy of Adamazi, which means the daughter of the Igbo ancestral palace. Maybe this was chancing it a bit. Meghan has revealed that she is 43% Nigerian. She hasn't specified to which ethnic group she belongs, presumably because she does not know. One asked during an episode of her Archetypes podcast if she was Igbo or the Yoruba people. She did not reply. Not to be outdone, meanwhile, the Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akanbi, the 56-year-old Oluwo of Iwo land in western Nigeria, then took center stage. Microphone in hand, he turned to Meghan, who was walked down the aisle on her wedding day by King Charles, and said, "Thank God you're one of us." As the successors stood before the seated guests, Akanbi made a show of presenting them a series of gifts, including necklaces and bracelets for robes fashioned from hand-woven fabric. And staking his own people's claim on the Duchess, he bestowed on her the Yoruba name Adetokunbo, meaning royalty from across the seas. Flamboyant even for Nigerian royalty, Akanbi drives a canary yellow MC-Laren supercar and is known as the Funky King. His wife, Queen Feathers, has described him as playful and jovial and says she fell in love with him at first sight. As her husband joked with Harry, she chatted to Meghan, and at one point, the two men posed for a picture which Queen Feathers later posted on her Instagram account. While it is tempting to imagine Feathers making a glamorous addition to Meghan's inner circle, the successors might wish to think twice before inviting the royal couple to their Californian mansion, not least because Akanbi is barred for life from entering the US. Akanbi, who was born while the prince hasn't always lived in splendor, is a convicted conman whose his own people have called for his deferment. Akanbi, the 56-year-old Oluwo of Iwo land in western Nigeria, is a convicted conman whose own people have called for his deferment. 4 years ago, a letter from a lawyer representing the Association of Iwo Land Indigenous and Diaspora AIID accused him of conducting himself in manners which are anti-ethical to that of a monarch in any clime and very unbecoming of a Yoruba Oba. He said he assaulted another monarch, Dikorolayi Akinropo of Ogbagba, during a peace meeting to settle a land dispute. But Akambi said that Akinropo had interrupted his speech and tried to attack him with his golden staff of office. He started calling me unprintable names, pointing his staff at me while attempting to stick the staff into my eyes, said Akambi. I heavily rejected it with a force he could not withstand. Much worse was to come from others, though including his ex-wife Chanel Shin, the daughter of a Jamaican reggae star who has called him a devil and publicly accused him of sexual assault. The letter from the AIID to state governor accuses Akambi of shamefully misrepresenting the interest of Igbo land and causing so many controversies that it's hard to imagine he ascended the throne. It says, our client has several reputation cases of intimidation, harassment, and acts of subjecting the poor indigents of Igbo land to all sorts of threats. It adds that the king made false allegations against Miss Chin, claiming she was sleeping around with all sorts of palace men, which she denied in a TV interview. In fact, adds the letter, the unassailable evidence at the disposal of our client was to the effect that Akambi has been the one defiling Igbo land with various shameless reports of defilement of young girls and ladies in the community. Court records in the US reveal an extensive criminal record. He once tried to cash a forged check of £247, an aggravated felony to which he pleaded guilty, and ultimately left him facing the prospect of 20 years in jail and a 197,000 naira fine. A 197,000 pounds fine. While the successes had no inkling they were being fetched in by a fraudster, Akambi lengthened criminal record stretches over scores of local documents. Akambi, then using the name Segun Adewale Adeonigbagbe, was first arrested in Boston in 1998 after he walked into Bank Boston posing as a Joseph Pigot and attempted to cash the stolen £247,000 check from aviation company Boeing. Meghan. Okay, in a statement, Neil Hegarty of the Financial Organized Crime Task Force said he was alerted by a suspicious bank teller. Agent Hegarty contacted the real Joseph Pigot, a successful businessman who said his mail has been stolen and that the thief had used his identity to apply for credit cards, write bogus checks, and attempt to cash real ones. The £247,000 check has been sent to Mr. Pigot by Boeing, which immediately stopped it when the business rang to say he had not received it. Surveillance footage was used to identify and arrest Akambi, who was later charged with the second count of forging a check of £59,000 using the name Thomas Aying. Now wow. What is this so perfect? What exactly? Another kind of person I sit down for free. If this is true, then they should start looking at ways of that kind of person is not worthy, if you ask me. With every tribes, all the crimes you have committed, that is if they are actually true. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news, so thank you for tuning in to listen, and so that I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest.